Hello, everyone, and welcome to Harv's World for another episode of Off the Grid. The rain just stopped. It has been raining and raining and raining. The rain here just is out of control. Absolutely out of control. It's almost 10:30. It's just after 10:30. The rain kept coming until almost 10 o'clock this morning. Actually, I think it was a little after 10 o'clock when it finally decided to quit. But now I can finally get in this field and start putting in that cotton for Mrs. Nelson. I have talked to my buddy Ed. I did talk to him. He said he was going to look into it, see what he could come up with. Hopefully he'll have a grand solution, as only Ed can come up with. It's a little bit interesting and a little bit nerve-wracking at the same time. I'm sure you probably have an idea of what I mean at this point. Ed comes up with unique solutions, and it's not always what you think it might be. That's okay. That's quite all right. I want to line up a little bit better on this one. But yeah, as I said, I'm a sucker for a good cause, and I'm going to get that cotton in. What else is going on? Well, Pierre did get back. He sold off my logs. I think we saw that last time. And, that's bringing in a little bit of money. We're not going to get rich quick off of it. And he won't be able to run any more logs for a few days. And I certainly don't have time to run them. So it's just going to be a wait and see. See when we can get those out there. I am a little bit intrigued by this cotton, though, I have to admit. That's another reason I decided to put it in, just because, we haven't done cotton, and I'm interested to see exactly what it's going to do up here in the Willamina forest, because, different crops require different requirements sometimes. And I just want to know what cotton will do for us. Now, we're not going to make any money off of this. In fact, it's going to cost us a little bit. I mean, that's the whole point of donations, right? Actually reminds me of a story. Now, I talked about my mom a little bit the last time, and then I was watching a video today. Interesting video. There's a farmer that I watch. Her name is Erin Holbert, and she was talking today about the fact that they are getting ready to plant sweet corn. And when farmers plant sweet corn, apparently they only do it on a few rows. At least, I guess it depends on the farm, but she was particularly planting sweet row on like the outside 5 rows, and then the rest of it was field or feed corn, which I found particularly interesting, but it also reminded me of a little story from my childhood that has to do with my mother and her ties to the Salvation Army, which is fantastic. I remember at one point, and I couldn't have been more than, 6, 7, 8 years old, a very, very young man. A farmer had donated all of the sweet corn that could be picked from his field to the Salvation Army. Yeah, people do stuff like that. And at one point I can remember a bunch of people, and we owned a big station wagon that had, a big open back on it, and a bunch of people getting in their cars and trucks, and there was a church van that went along for the ride, and Harv, come on. Hit the right keys, buddy. We all went out to this farmer's field and picked sweet corn. And of course, the members of the church were allowed to take some home. Well, we went and picked sweet corn, and we literally filled up the back of this station wagon with sweet corn. I mean, it was overflowing with sweet corn. And we took that home. And I swear we were peeling ears of corn for just days after that, because of course Mom had to preserve it, can it, cook it, use it for whatever she could to keep it good for however long it would last us. I don't remember everything she made with that sweet corn, but I'm sure we were eating sweet corn for days and for months afterwards. Maybe that's why I love sweet corn so much now. Could be. Who knows? Well, so far everything's been going pretty swimmingly. What the heck was that? That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh. One more try. Nope. Alright, let's get off that. I know I don't have the equipment for this. Nope, don't have the equipment. I'm going to have to run to the shop. Gonna have to run to the shop because I'm not sure what's going on with that tractor, but I know to get it out of there, I don't have what I need. So I guess we're going to town. Town it is. Here's hoping that they've got, I don't know what that store generally keeps. I haven't spent much time there, just to pick up a few things every now and then. I hope they have what I'm gonna need. I think I know what I need, but we'll see if they've got it or not. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, but we'll see. We shall see. Well, they had what I needed. That's good. Even better. Even better. I didn't realize it at the time, but they have a rental program. They were actually able to just rent me the equipment that I needed to take care of this, so that's handy. Good to know. FYI. Oh man, and I thought this was going to go well. Let's see here. I guess I'll just pull out to the tractor. Makes the most sense. Okay. Better release those straps. Yeah, the first thing I was going to need was this hook, because I don't have any way to attach directly to the tractor, at least not in a safe way. Okay, there we go. That takes care of that, and I don't think this little pickup of mine is really going to do the trick. I think I'm going to need something bigger. Now, I did talk to them down there. We had a little conversation. Well, this is a better show than tell. I can tell you one thing. Well, I can tell you a few things, but I can tell you one thing, that what I've got on hand at the moment probably isn't the best. I mean, I do have some old tractors. One of them is down with my forestry site at the moment. I've been using it to haul logs out, get them stacked up and that sort of thing, and it's not really a tractor I'd want to use in the field. I mean, I can if push comes to shove. It's something I could, but it wouldn't be my first choice. The Ursus doesn't have the power to pull that particular planter. I do have this nasty old beast, and I have to tell you, this would not be my first choice. I've driven this tractor just a couple times just to get it over here, actually, from Chuck's place. Let's grab that winch. Yeah, just to get it over here from Chuck's place, and I got to tell you, that'll work. That'll work. I don't like it. If I have to use it, I will. but it definitely would not be my first choice. However, like I said, I did talk to the guys at the shop, and well, there's something going on over there that might just come in handy, although it might be a little bit spendy. I don't know. I think what I don't like about this is just the way it articulates like that. I know, I've talked to a few guys who seem to think that's just peachy, but for me, not so much. There we go. Let's see if we can get the old International out of the field. Oh, it's really, really, really a bummer. I love this old International. Absolutely love it. But if there's something seriously wrong with it, and I'm no mechanic. I mean, I can do the basics and keep things tuned up and that sort of thing, but I am no mechanic. So if there's anything major wrong with it, that could be a bigger issue than I want to deal with. Could be. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know, all that happy stuff. I told them what was going on. They said it doesn't sound good. I mean, obviously they haven't looked at it or anything. They definitely said it doesn't sound good. And they do have a shop there. I can bring it in and they can take a look at it. And we'll see. We'll see. Now this old tank. I'm not a fan. That's all I can say. I'm not a fan. Okay. Well, I'm gonna see what I can do to get this tractor onto this trailer. Where there's a will, there's a winch. Which is probably what's going to be required. Well, I got it on there. Like I said, it took some doing, but I did get it on there. I'm going to do something a little bit unconventional. A little bit unconventional. Because frankly, I want to see if or when or what or anything that can be done to help a brother out. Anything at all. So I'm going to take this old tractor, hopefully hook it up to this trailer, assuming I can get it navigate properly. There we go. This is going to end up pulling a little bit better anyway, I think. My track gets a little bit, my track's a little bit light when it comes to towing heavy stuff like this. So let me grab that winch out of the truck. And throw this on there. And take this stuff back to the shop and see what they can do for the International. One foot forward, 2 steps back. That's where we're at right now. Oh, well, it was a little bit painful, but hopefully something good will come out of it. So, they were willing to take the Versatile as a trade-in. Got about $25,000 for it. Not bad. They would not take the International. and I'm not sure I want them to, but because it's not running and it doesn't have a high value anyway, they weren't willing to take it. I said, then put it in the shop and see what you can do. Let me know what it's going to cost to repair. But what they did have was this old Ford. I mean, it's not too terribly old. It's newer than what I've got back there. Somebody had brought in not too long ago and swapped out for a different tractor. So I bought the Ford for a mere $50,000 plus trade-in. So yeah, I think it was 22. So we're in all told for about 72,000. Yeah, 72,000 for this old truck. It's not bad though. It's not bad. They said they'd had a chance to work on it, get it all squared away, but they hadn't had a chance to clean it up yet. Yeah, it's full of fuel. I can't complain about that. But it's not the International. It's not terrible. I mean, I can get it back. I can clean it up. That's no big deal. You know, I've got the pressure washer, and well, it's newer than the International was. That International has been running on its last legs probably for a while anyway, even though it's done me well. The big deal is that International came from Chuck. Now, I know the Versatile did too, but, you know, Chuck loaned me that International long before there was ever a problem. I don't know. It means almost, it probably means more to me than the little Ursus. Although I do love that Ursus. It's never going anywhere. So we'll see. You know, I mean, they wouldn't take the International for trade anyway. So we'll see. We'll see. If they can't fix it, maybe we can find somebody who can. I don't know. I just don't want to see it go anywhere. That's you know, that's a big tie to Chuck. And I don't know whatever happened to that John Deere he loaned me. That just kind of disappeared. I don't know what he ever did with that. Anyway, let me get back to the homestead. I got to get this cotton in. Well, things aren't, things go from bad to worse, apparently. I did want to get this a good cleaning before I get it in the field, just, you know, I don't want any issues. There we go. That's better. It looks pretty good when it's cleaned up, really. That's a good looking tractor. We're kind of growing up a little bit, and so is the cotton. That's what I'm talking about. Things aren't going as well as I had planned because, frankly, the cotton is already growing in patches. Here's hoping we can get this squared away and get the rest of this cotton in without too much ado. Keep your fingers crossed. As I am always wont to say. Oh yeah, this thing does pretty nice. Oh, you know what I just realized? I didn't even notice this before. This thing looks like some kind of global positioning system in it too. I think I just got the deal of a century. Gonna have to figure out how to use that. For now, I'm gonna stick to my ridge markers. Because frankly, ridge markers and global positioning are effectively the same thing. And I don't know, for my money, ridge markers work just fine. I get a good, nice maximum width off my equipment using the ridge markers, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Could be that I have to activate it somehow. I'm not sure. Is there some kind of system I need to contact somebody and say, hey, fire up my GPS, put it on your network or whatever? I don't know. I'm at a bit of a loss here. I ain't never had no fancy equipment like GPS before. I guess we'll find out. There's always a lesson to be learned, right? Right. If you're not learning, you're losing. Well, that's kind of how I look at life anyway. If you're not learning something, you're losing something. Man, almost a whole day's shot between the rain and breakdowns. Don't think the ridge marker's going to help me now. Just in case. The one tricky thing about ridge markers is you have to make sure that you don't use them on already planted soil, because if you do, they're going to jack up the works on you. They cut a groove into the ground, and so if you use them on already planted soil, it's going to disrupt the planting in that section of the soil. So you just have to make sure that they're not over there. Make sure you pick the right one. Abso-flogging. This is not a bad tractor at all. I think I might end up liking this thing. Yeah, we're done with ridge markers. This is this is going to be pretty nice. I'm a little bit thrilled by this tractor. I have to be honest with you. It looks much better, all cleaned up too. Wow, we might be growing up a little bit here. I'm not too keen on the money it cost me, but I feel like we've stepped into the 20th century. Well, at least the 20th century. Maybe a little better than that, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I know one thing, I'm going to have to do something about liquid fertilizer, because I'm going to be running out pretty soon if I'm not careful. And God bless that that shop down there. I mean, I don't feel like I got ripped off on this tractor or anything, but when it comes to seed and fertilizer, man, they are spendy. Very spendy. Yeah, this should just about do her. Yeah, almost. One last little tiny bit here. One little tiny bit. Alright. Well, we've got a cotton field. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but we do have a cotton field. Somebody suggested that I tell those folks if they want this cotton, they should come over here and pick it. And I said, can you just imagine those ladies coming over here in their designer jeans and you know, with their Gucci handbags, and what are they going to have, some kind of sunbonnets on, coming over here trying to hand pick cotton? I don't see it happening. It's all right. That's not my point here. Yeah, this is a nice little tractor. I have to admit. I very much have to admit. I was just trying to figure out where my cedar was, and I realized I had moved it into a shed over there. Now, I have been thinking about what to do about the cattle situation. Now that I've got them squared away, I would be willing to bet that even the silage is ready to go, so I'm pretty sure cattle feed is not going to be a problem now. In fact, why don't I check on that silage real quick? Very quickly. This will only take a second. In fact, all I should have to do is just roll right up in here and see. Oh yeah, it's all done. I'll leave it covered until I'm ready to collect it. I don't need it yet because I don't have the cattle yet, but... So what I was talking about with the cattle, I think I've got that mostly sorted out now. Man, this tractor doesn't like this stump grinder the way the International did. It's really pushing its limits. Really pushing the limits. Anyway, you know, that other cattle barn that I sort of hacked together, that didn't do so well. You know, it only, well, I wasn't around to maintain it or anything. Man, this thing really doesn't like this. Ooh. I wonder if it would work better on the rear PTO. Maybe we just don't have enough power to the front. Let's find out, shall we? Nope, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in the least. Well, that's one way to find a stump. Okay, so what I was saying, I'd like to have a little something better this time. You know, I want my animals to be well cared for. Not that they weren't well cared for before, but you know, I'd like to do something a little bit more. So I'm going to contact somebody who does this professionally and see if I can't get a little something extra. Little something better than I had the last time. Maybe give them a little more space, because those, you know, that was a pretty crowded little corral I had for them. So hopefully that will sort itself out. I'm sure it will. What else? Talk to the real estate agent. That's kind of why I'm over here grinding stumps now, because I do have 3 spaces basically ready to go. And I've got to clear trees in 3 more areas, 3 more plots. But, you know, he's telling me I need to put these on the market as soon as I can, which, you know, makes absolute sense, of course. That's why he's the real estate agent. And he said he's looked into it a little bit, and there's well, they've established a little bit of a government on the other side of the lake, and they have instituted some zoning laws that might be prohibitive if I'm not careful. And I said, well, what kind of zoning are we talking about? He said, well, it's traditional zoning. You know, you're part of that county, so it applies to you as well. I'm like, oh, that's great. So now I've got government to deal with too. And he said, well, it's not anything major, but you are going to need approval from them to turn these into home plots. I was like, great. That's just bloody great. So, we'll see. We'll see how that sorts itself out too. But he did say that, you know, even if I can only get 1 or 2 of these done, man, this tractor does not at all like this stump grinder, does it? I don't know. Looks like we're going to need another solution for this also. This is very odd. Very strange indeed. I don't know why it would have so much trouble with this little tiny piece of equipment. It's not that big of a deal. Well, the stumps are gone, but man, was that ever painful. Actually, I see one more back over there. Well, I like this tractor, but it just doesn't quite have the power the International used to have, apparently. Of course, we don't have it all. Get. Is that it? Did we get it? Shut that thing down. And actually, I'm going to leave this down here. Maybe I can swap it out for that little... I don't know. We'll see. You can see I got the last of what logs I have loaded up. That was yesterday. There we go. Okay, back up to the farm. I'm going to try to finish off that cotton field. Well, I can tell you, this Ford works the field well. It does work the field pretty darn well. Can't complain about that whatsoever. What I'm really starting to like about it, if I'm completely honest, is it's got a nice tight turn radius. So getting swung back around and ready for the next pass is much, much simpler. And of course, as I always do, I like to get an application of herbicide on as soon as possible. Ever since I got that bad seed, I've not been able to get the weeds out. They started coming, and well, once you get weeds, killing them off completely is almost impossible. Almost impossible. There's nothing that will hurt your crops more than weeds. Oh, except not taking care of them properly. That'll kind of do it too. Yes, make sure they've got plenty of fertilizer and all that. And, you know, the rain has the ground fairly well soaked, so it's not like they're not going to have plenty of water. Thank you very much, Willamina Forest massive rain showers. I missed a spot. I'm going to have to look into this GPS. I'm really going to have to look into the GPS and see. Because, you know, that's great for planters. And, I mean, harvesters don't matter simply because you can tell where you've gone. But on stuff like this, something like a GPS system could come in pretty bloody handy. Well, I guess, you know, I'll know what I've hit when the weeds start coming in. That's true. That's a good point. I can come back over it just a little bit, knock out whatever little spots I've missed. I reckon 3 plots of land are ready to sell. Ed's going to take care of hopefully finding me some cotton equipment. We've got a new tractor, for better or for worse. I'm not sure which yet. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of Off the Grid. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. I very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.